In forensic science class, we're learning how to investigate crime scenes. Casey Anthony, the CSI effect. Few criminal proceedings have captured the attention of the American public or have invoked stronger emotions than the Casey Anthony murder trial. How could a defendant who failed to report her 2-year-old child missing for 31 days walk away scot-free from a murder conviction? This case had all the makings of a strong circumstantial case for the state. Circumstantial means the circumstances of 31 days not reporting her child missing. That doesn't prove she did it, but it's a circumstance that doesn't go against maybe if there were other evidence to convict her. The state's theory was that Casey used chloroform to render her daughter unconscious, placed duct tape over Kaylee's mouth and nose, and kept the body in the trunk for several days before disposing of it. Kaylee's decomposed remains were discovered more than 5 months after she was reported missing. Have TV forensic dramas created an environment in the courtroom that necessitates the existence of physical evidence to directly link a defendant to a crime scene? And here, physical evidence is, and directly link is different from circumstantial evidence. The closest the state came to a direct link was a hair found in the trunk of Casey's car. However, the DNA test on the hair could only link the hair to Kaylee's maternal, that means mom, relatives: Casey, her mother, her grandmother, and Casey's brother. No unique characteristics were found to link the duct tape on the body with that found in the Anthony home. No DNA, no fingerprints, no conviction. In forensic science, we're learning how to investigate crime scenes. We want to know what types of expert witnesses there are in the courtroom. We want to understand that we're focused on direct physical evidence concerning the definition of the Locard's exchange principle. We're concerned with scientific hypothesis. That means it has to be testable and falsifiable, and the scientific method in general. We are showing through investigation that we can inquire or ask questions scientifically. We are using physical science information to fuel our investigations, and we're basing an understanding of life science. We're basing our understanding of these cases or these investigations on our understanding of life science. So life science would be like genetics, blood, things of the human body, bones. And this specific lesson, we're learning how to investigate crime scenes by using a book, but by taking notes in columns. We're collecting data. That's what we do. And so we're doing that same process in any kind of investigation we do, whether it's a first-hand investigation or a second-hand investigation. So this is a second-hand investigation, and our success criteria is answering questions from a video and from textbook. On Google Classroom, of course, there's a Google Doc 3.1 video and textbook questions, and the first questions there are related to a portion of a video focused on crime scene sketching, which we've already covered in a previous lesson, but this is testing your understanding of that. And there are several questions there. I won't go over them here, but I did want to go over the questions from the textbook. So it says, get a textbook or share one to study the following questions with validity. And you're going to take notes on the following questions. So the first one is, list the 11 sections of professions practicing forensic science, pages 4 through 5. So here we have, this is page 5, so this is page 4, and a list jumps out at us. So we can find that quickly. We're using a textbook to investigate. So what do we need? We just need a list. We don't need to read all of this to get to our list. And here's some terms right here. Professions, practicing forensic science is illustrated by the 11 sections of the American Academy of Forensic Science, the largest forensic science organization in the world. So I'm going to put this, use this for my list. Criminalistics, digital and multimedia sciences, engineering science, general jurisprudence, odontology, that's teeth, pathology/biology. So pathology is study of disease and stuff with tissues of the human body. Physical anthropology, so that's bones. Psychiatry, behavioral sciences. You probably know psychiatry, like how people think, how people behave. And then questioned documents. So this is like using handwriting, investigating or comparing handwriting to potential suspects. And then toxicology, that's essentially chemistry and poisons. Okay, the next question is define Locard's exchange principle. And you'll see in the book, you can find that right here. If you flip some pages, Locard's exchange principle: when two objects come into contact with one another, there is exchange of materials between them. Very important principle. I guess you can't see. There we go. Locard's exchange principle: when two objects come into contact with one another, there is exchange of materials between them. Then the next question, list and briefly describe the 14 crime lab service units from pages 18 to 24. So I've got to page 18. We've got physical science unit, biology unit, firearms unit, document examination unit, photography unit. Then we've got optional services provided by full service crime laboratories, toxicology unit, latent fingerprint unit. Latent means left behind. Polygraph unit, that's lie detector. Voice print analysis unit. Crime scene investigation unit. Forensic psychiatry, forensic odontology, forensic engineering, forensic computer and digital analysis. Then the next question is define rough sketch. So we've already defined scientific method, hypothesis. Oh, this is, rough sketch. This is later on in the book, isn't it? Photography, rough sketch, okay. Rough sketch, a sketch drawn at the crime scene that contains an accurate depiction of the dimensions of the scene and shows the location of all objects having a bearing on the case. And then finished sketch, define finished sketch, a precise rendering of the crime scene, usually drawn to scale. Then the next question, read collecting physical evidence on page 59. Collecting physical evidence. So you're going to read this. Describe the three-step process after a designated area of the crime scene is vacuumed. You can see a picture here of a vacuum sweeper attachment. Please. Collecting physical evidence. Each clothing item should be handled carefully and wrapped separately to avoid loss of trace materials. Critical areas of the crime scene should be vacuumed and the sweepings submitted to the laboratory for analysis. The sweepings from different areas must be collected and packaged separately. A portable vacuum cleaner equipped with a special filter attachment is suitable for this purpose. See Figure 2.8. Additionally, fingernail scrapings from individuals who were in contact with other individuals may contain minute fragments of evidence capable of linking the assailant and victim. The undersurface of each nail is best scraped with a dull object such as a toothpick to avoid cutting the skin. These scrapings will be subjected to microscopic examination. in the laboratory. The search for physical evidence must extend beyond the crime scene to the autopsy room of a deceased victim. Here, the medical examiner or coroner carefully examines the victim to establish a cause and manner of death. Tissues and organs are routinely retained for pathological and toxicological examination. At the same time, arrangements must be made between the examiner and investigator to secure a variety of items that may be obtainable from the body for laboratory examination. See page 109. In recent years, many police departments have gone to the expense of purchasing and equipping mobile crime laboratories. See figure 2.9. That's this one. For their evidence technicians. However, the term mobile crime laboratory is a misnomer. Like mistake, nomer meaning name, so that label doesn't really communicate exactly what it does. These vehicles carry the necessary supplies to protect the crime scene, photograph, collect, and package physical evidence, and perform latent print development. They are not designed to carry out the functions of a chemical laboratory. Crime scene search vehicle would be a more appropriate but perhaps less dramatic name for such a vehicle. Now, it seems like our question is to describe the three-step process after a designated area of the crime scene is vacuumed. Now, did we see that in this text? We might have to read the figure. Vacuum sweeper attachment, constructed of clear plastic in two pieces that are joined by a threaded joint. A metal screen is mounted in one half to support a filter paper to collect debris. Debris is the various things that are in that environment, like small things. The mess that's there. The unit attaches to the hose of the vacuum sweeper. After a designated area of the crime scene is vacuumed, the filter paper is removed and retained for laboratory examination. So from that, describe the three-step process after a designated area of the crime scene is vacuumed. The next question is, in recent years, many police departments, including Manor Police Department, have gone to the expense of purchasing and equipping mobile crime laboratories. See figure 2.9. Once I already pointed that out. For their evidence technicians. These vehicles carry the necessary supplies to protect the crime scene. According to page 59, what are the 4 ways they protect the scene?